Hello loves, how are you doing? Welcome back. I cannot believe it's time for December video. So I am in my new home. This is the second calendar video that I've done in the new home. I still don't have a manicure because my hands were so cut up and so sore and blistered from moving, and I did not want to go do that until my hands were healed. So they are feeling a little bit better. But my daughter wanted to go together at Thanksgiving, so I'm holding off waiting for her. But I will give a plug. If you are a Young Living customer or not yet, let me entice you by talking about this because it is so amazing. It's almost like Vaseline, but sweeter. It has this really yummy, it's rose ointment. So it's got rose in it, and it's just so lovely to put on the cuticles and anywhere that feels like really dry, cuts, anything like that. I've moved to a desert climate and it is very dry, and I'm using this constantly. So let's talk about December. I mean, how is it already time for this? I can't even believe it. So if you've been here a little while, we did November together, and I'm going to do the same thing and place stickers, stamp, do all of that stuff, and then put in the astrological dates for you. And then after that, I will do the Sagittarius season video. So I'm recording this on the 21st. The sun is moving into Sagittarius today. What's interesting as I'm doing this, I've kind of been in a rhythm of doing the calendar first and then doing the sun season energy update after. And I realize that the sun season starts before the need for the next calendar, but I've been doing it this way because it's helpful for me to see, well, what are all the transits? What are all the dates that are coming up in the following month? And then it's easier for me to track the Sagittarius or whatever sun season it is to give you all the information behind what all of this means. So there are always two videos every month, and there's one that's this, the calendaring, so you have the dates. And then immediately following that, although I may switch the order, next month is the sun season energy update, and that includes all the astrology that's going on. So if you're following along here and you're a Traveler's Notebook person, that's what I'm using here, and you want to know what all of these dates mean, then stay tuned for that energy update of that sun season, because that will help you know what all of this means. So anyway, let's start with December. So I kind of have a format that I do. So I'll put the dates in, I'll put stickers down, I'll stamp December, I'll write my goals, and I just transfer forward whatever didn't get done. And then we'll go through and we'll talk about all of the dates here. So let's start with the good old-fashioned Monday through Sunday. And you may choose to do this differently. Maybe you want to start on Sunday. I just started Monday because my Hobonichi starts that way. It seems like all the Japanese calendars start that way. So I just decided I was going to follow suit with that. And it kind of makes a little bit more sense anyway. Yeah, I think I've talked about it in other videos, but, you know, when we split up the weekend on the calendar, it has an impact on how we experience it. That's what I've noticed. And I've noticed that 100% with my Hobonichi that I started I got an April start this year. Because it follows along with the astrological calendar, number one, but it also follows seasonally if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. But I like it better, and even with this December, what I'm noticing is that I don't feel stressed out like I normally do in December. Like, oh my gosh, the end of the year is here, and you know, that kind of anxiety of like something's ending, and then I'm supposed to make New Year's resolutions, and I'm supposed to start the new year in January, and I'm supposed to be hitting the ground running, and that doesn't make any sense because we're in the dead of winter. Everything is dead, and it should not be that way. Okay, I'm just checking my notes here. What day? So we ended on a Sunday, so December is going to start on a Monday. there, we've got that done. That seems to be always the most tedious part. All right, the next thing I like to do is grab my stickers for decoration. And if you've been following along, you know I always like to put stickers up here in the corner and cover this little Traveler's Notebook stamp. And then I'll just add some other stickers based on what feels like is the right theme for this month. And then we'll get to these in a minute. So I think I had decided on, I want to do one of these little houses. I just moved into a new home in a new climate. It's much colder here, probably will snow. And I feel like that is what I want to focus on for my calendar for December, is that home and the winter cozy vibes and all of that. So let me remember what it was that I decided upon. I think I wanted to do a little bit of red. So I think I'm going to do this house. These stickers are all Serica Studio, and I'll try to link all the tools and supplies that I'm using in these videos. I try to do that so you can follow along if you don't have a Traveler's Notebook and you want to try. I thought I'd do this kind of browny red because of Christmas. And then let's see, shall we have a little hot cocoa of some sort to go with it? Maybe the red cup, maybe the cup with the heart. That's calling to me. There we go. Okay. So we've got that. And because the dates, you know, take up everything up here, I'll probably add some things down here in the bottom, but let's do some of the other dates first before I decide if I'm going to do that. So before we even do that, let's go ahead and stamp December. All right, so we've got that. And then I always like to write my goals here, so let's do that now. And then I'll fill those in later. And all right, let's start with some of the dates here. So we start the top of the month with a full moon in Gemini on the 4th. So I'm going to use my little moon stickers. Where are they? And these I got on Amazon. I'm pretty sure I've linked these before. So full moon, like I say every time, I wish these were all just the full moon and not the whole cycle. And let me see, we've got a new moon on the 19th, so I will put one of the darker circles there on the 19th. So we've got that done. Okay, so full moon Gemini. So I'll talk about this more in the Sagittarius season video, but we're getting ready to go into the Gemini and Sagittarius with a new moon in Sag. 2 T's, 1G. This is the axis of wisdom. So this is what we're going to be talking about in the Sag season video. When we're inside of Sagittarius, but then this new and full moon sit on the axis of wisdom. So that's going to be some of the energetic theme that is coming through. So let's see, if you don't already know, I teach collage twice a month. I do a full and new moon ceremony around the full and new moon, and then I do collage as close to or on the full or new moon as I can. So we're going to be doing, I think we decided, yes. So collage is going to be on the 5th, and the other collage is also going to be on the 19th. We're going to do it on the exact day. All right, then we've got Neptune going direct on the 10th. That has been retrograde for quite some time with Sagittarius. They're both going to go direct, and then they're going to go back over the Pisces Aries point early next year. So it's a pretty big moment that this is going direct, because Saturn will have gone direct already on Thanksgiving. So those two moving forward now back into Aries are really kind of the symbol or the sign energetically, as we're looking at the astrology of the new world, anchoring down the systems. Neptune is the dream and Saturn is the structure that has been dissolving and letting go, if you haven't already witnessed it in the world. Okay, Mercury is going to go into Sag on the 11th. And Mercury has been retrograde, is currently retrograde at the time of this recording, and will go direct on the 29th. And so it was in Sag, it went back into Scorpio, and then it's going to go back into Sag once it starts going direct again. Then we've got Mars in Capricorn on the 14th. And then we've got the new moon in Sag on the 19th, Collage on the 19th, and then we have the sun in Capricorn on the 21st. And I like to symbolize the start of the sun season with this little delineation so I can visually see when we're walking into a new season, and that's when I'll do another energy update. And then Venus is going to go into Capricorn on the 24th. And let's see. So we don't have as many dates this month, it feels like. And we will too, as Mercury is going to go direct on the 29th, then it has an integration period of about 2 weeks. So right around in here, just before the new moon in Sag, the energy of the integration of whatever Mercury message, your mind, commerce, air energy, the mental energy, whatever sign that it's been in Sagittarius and Scorpio. So it's in higher education, learning. Scorpio is about death, dying, rebirth, letting go. So it's something around there. And usually by the midpoint is when you've kind of had your message and you know, like, oh, this is what Mercury is trying to teach me, if you're paying attention, and otherwise you wouldn't even realize it was happening. So let's talk about I like to use these for specific dates that are important, obviously Christmas. So we'll go 25th there, and then I like to denote birthdays and different important things that I want to remember. And, oh, I should note too, I've been doing with a couple other gals in town, and we have been publishing it on Zoom as well for those that aren't local. But we've been doing an end of the year event and winter solstice, summer solstice, kind of some things like that. So We will be doing one, but I think we've decided on a January date. I think we're going to do January 3rd as kind of a start of the year, letting go of all the old. So if you're interested in that, you can look at the events page of my website. Once I get it published, I will know a little bit more. And then New Year's Eve's kind of obvious. And yeah, then I've got some travel that I will fill in here as well. Okay, so we're good with that. And then let me see what else. I kind of want to do a few more stickers, shall we? Let's see. I was kind of thinking, I have a tradition of making gooey buns every Christmas Eve that are ready on Christmas morning. So I was actually thinking of using this little guy for Christmas because it sort of feels like that is in line with that. Let's see. I think we're going to go get our tree. Actually, let me go into the vault here and get some other stickers, because I think we're going to cut our tree down for the first time, going out like that instead of going to a farm where it's already cut. And I would like a tree for that day. There we go. Of course, it's all the way in the front. All right. Clearly, I'm obsessed with Serica's stickers. I love them. Okay, so let's do a little tree cutting. I mean, that's just too adorable. And then let's see if there's anything else I want to kind of fill this in. I'm going to have to use, because this is longer and the goals didn't go down here, I'm probably going to have to use some more of this space. But because this is open, I feel like, maybe we could do something with that. And maybe a little sweater, a hat, and a scarf. Let's see. Some animals. I used a deer last time and I'm really digging that guy. I think I'm gonna go sweater though. Maybe some socks and these little, I like the books too. Maybe we're just going to do a whole thing with this page because, you know, December, don't you want to just like hunker down and read some books? If the world wasn't calling us to travel and go do all that stuff, which is fun too, but all right, let's see if there's anything else I want to fill in. I'm just going to fill in birthdays. I guess I'll write Eve also. And I think that's it. I'll fill in my travel dates on my own because no one cares about that. And yeah, So events this month, obviously full moon, new moon. Moon ceremonies will show up in the shop on my website. I've tried to start publishing them on YouTube with just a little post reminder for those that want to join that. And it's a pre-recorded download. And the first half of it is the energetic update of the full or new moon. And the second half of it is a group healing session. And then we do collage, like I said, every other week in line with that. And that's usually at 3 o'clock Pacific. And it's on Zoom, and you can come. There's a membership that includes all 4 of these things every month. But if you want to just come individually, you can do that as well. So, all right, folks, there you go. I think that's it. Happy December. I can't believe it's already here. So stay tuned for the Sagittarius season energy update. And I will try to link that in here so that you can easily find it. But it will be the very next post after this one, so it should be easy to find. All right, have a wonderful month. Actually, one more thing that I want to add here. And let me just go double check it. All right, so the last thing I wanted to include was the name of the full moon, and I couldn't remember it for December, which is the long night's moon. I just think it's fun to catalog those and remember what they are, because they give you kind of a clue. Harvest moon, it kind of gives you an indication of the seasonal, kind of what's going on. Long nights should have been easy to remember, but I kept thinking of wolf, which is January. So, all right, there you go. Happy December. Let me know if you're following along with these videos and tracking these astrological moments with me. All right, take care.